to the heart of beautiful and historic Tuscany. To be here with you today is a dream come true for me. I joined in 2007, where I had the opportunity to help revamp the Abarth brand. Then I managed the Fiat Professional, and after the formation of Stellantis, I oversaw commercial vehicles before proudly stepping into my former role of commercial coordinator, car flow, and sales and marketing manager at Jeep in 2023. And today I'm living the dream to lead the Jeep brand in Europe, the brand that invented the SUVs supported by an incredible team. You will drive the new Avenger 4xe for the first time, but most importantly, we are unveiling the next generation of the Compass, our CSUV that has sold over 2.5 million units since its launch in 2006. Now, let me start with the two key concepts. The first, at Jeep, we embody the values of freedom, adventure, authenticity, and passion, bringing these ideals to life in our everyday experiences. These core values are the foundation of our strategy. We aim to protect and to uphold these principles while expanding our reach through innovative mobility solutions. The second, in Jeep, we embrace the future, always keeping our customers and partners' needs at the heart of our choices. In fact, if you see how is evolving our product range, we can meet mobility needs according to the dynamics of the industry. In the BSUV segment, representing 21% of the total market, we forecast that pure thermal engines will still hold 1/3 by 2026, leading us to continue to offer diverse thermal engines options for the Avenger. In the CSUV segment, 25% of the market, pure thermal engines are expected to drop to 10%, prompting our investment in BEV, PHEV, and the hybrid for the new Compass. For the DSUV segment, with nearly 50% projected to be fully electric by 2026, the Wagoneer S and Recon are positioned to attract new clients in both private and B2B channels. This plan positions Jeep to meet today's market demands while we build for tomorrow. Our ambitious forecast for the new Compass demonstrates this commitment. Like Avenger, the Compass will be a key driver of the Jeep growth, propelling us forward and accelerating our progress. Now, let's look at the commercial results we achieved last year. In 2024, we sold 132,000 units in Europe, achieving a 1% market share in the passenger car industry, with Avenger leading the way with over 79,000 units. The first 2 months of 2025 were also positive, with a market share of 1.1%. Italy remains our domestic market in Europe with more than 70,000 units sold in 2024, but it's important to highlight that the weight of the rest of Europe increased by almost 10 points with some great results. Sales in UK have tripled, and key markets such as France and the Netherlands have multiplied sales by 1.5 against 2023. With more than 160,000 customer orders since launch, and with 50% of them being full electric or e-hybrid in 2024, Avenger is driving Jeep results. Last year, this model has been the third most sold car in Italy, the best-selling SUV in the country, and the fourth BEV BSUV in Europe. Now, the Avenger range is complete. In fact, in addition to the petrol, e-hybrid, and all-electric versions, we introduced the new Avenger 4xe, enriched by exclusive the North Face edition. And tomorrow, you will have the opportunity to test drive the new Avenger 4xe for the first time. With these results, Avenger has laid the foundations for Jeep growth in Europe, but not only. The success of the Avenger started to go global. In fact, the Jeep brand has already launched this amazing model in 62 countries, including strategic markets such as Japan, South Korea, Australia, and Morocco as well. We can say that Jeep has started a journey to renew the Jeep lineup across all the segments, a journey that today is taking another milestone by covering the CSUV segment with the new Compass. A journey that will continue in 2026 with the launch in the European market of Recon, a 100% electric SUVs that shows off the rough side of a Jeep with its outstanding off-road capabilities. Inspired by the Wrangler heritage, Recon will be incredibly versatile and functional, providing an unparalleled outdoor experience. And then Wagoneer, the fastest all-electric Jeep SUV ever, a sleek SUV that combines Jeep's legendary capability and robustness with style, premium, and technology. In our view, the perfect recipe for the segment. We are now ready to focus on the star of the day. The new Compass will play in the CSUV segment, the most important passenger car segment in Europe, accounting for almost a quarter of the total market. A segment that is strategic for Jeep, as we intend to make the new Compass the central pillar of our lineup to meet our volume ambitions. It's a global project designed for the global market that will expand the brand reach thanks to unique selling propositions that the team will detail later on. The launch will be in Europe first, with the intention to expanding globally from there. The new Compass is manufactured at the Melfi plant in southern Italy, home of Jeep Renegade and the current Compass that since 2014 has ensured the high quality of production that Jeep customers have come to expect. Let's now focus on the CSUV segment, which is not only strategic, but also very crowded with the competitors. But we are convinced that the new Compass stands out from the crowd because it stays true to the unique Jeep formula, which for customers means capability, robustness, safety, and attitude, combined with versatility and cutting-edge technology. In a nutshell, the new Compass is designed for the outdoor, but it's everyday capable no matter where we are driving. Freedom of choice is one of the hallmarks of the new Compass, with a powertrain lineup capable of meeting 90% of the segment demand, plus the added choice of 2 or 4-wheel drive. The BV models have a range of up to 650 kilometers and are then ready for the future development of the segment, with the all-wheel drive model boasting an awesome 375 horsepower. Capability is in our DNA, and the team has worked hard to make the new Compass the best in class in every region. Superior capability that we have extended across the entire range, with the 2-wheel drive versions also 100% capable. State-of-the-art technology will be standard on all models, with the features usually found in premium and upper segment vehicles, confirming the new Compass position at the top end of the CSUV segment. Space and versatility are also key to this segment, as our customers has told us in our surveys and clinics. Therefore, the new Compass features a significant increase in flexible and versatile space, achieved through our design-to-function approach, and an additional 150 millimeters in length when compared to the previous version. All of this is not just innovation, but future-ready innovation that ensures a better residual value for the client, an increasingly important factor in customer's choice. But there is more. The new Compass is also very distinctive thanks to the head-turning design that has made us so passionate about it. Please let me know at the end of today's presentation if you feel in the same way. You have seen so many launches, right? And so this will be a very important test for us. So, before we deep dive into the design story of the new Compass, I'm pleased to introduce you Ralph Gilles, who will take us through the forward evolution of Jeep design and style.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Fabio. It's my pleasure to see you tonight. So first time I'm here in a while. So it's impossible to talk about Jeep without thinking about the 1941 Jeep Willys. And with that, it became part of European history and clearly was made in America, but really designed to mobilize soldiers around the world. And ever since then, it's been evolving, right? After the war, what do you do with the Willys? And it became the CJ series that went up to CJ7. And if we were still at it today, we would be calling it CJ12 or 14 or 15, which means civilian Jeep, right? Trying to balance this respect for the two souls of Jeep, which has to do with capability, the connection with nature, but over time has also meant urban living and mobility in some cities that are just as rough as jungles, to be honest with you. So finding that, combining those two elements has been an incredible mission for us. So as designers, we feel like we get to work on Jeep. It's a privilege to take care of this brand over the years. And I hope one day to hand it over to the next head of design and keep it going, because this brand is bigger than us. But as Jeep has grown, it's become global. Yes, we've added many, many product lines that have responded to requests from the globe, literally from our regions. We sell Jeep in over 140 countries in the world. It went from 1 or 2 models back in 1941, one model, to today over 12 and soon one day 14 models. But the Compass is probably the most special one because it's the most prolific one. It's the one that has reached the most parts of the globe. So we take that vehicle very seriously. So back in 2016, the current generation, I was in Brazil launching it in an event just like this. And I remember saying, well, what am I doing in Brazil launching this? We actually built a plant. And after that, we built 4 more. So it was designed in Michigan, developed in Turin, and launched in Brazil. And today it's become a global story. But this time around, with the success of the Compass in Europe in particular, it was an obvious choice to give that project to my team in Turin. And the proximity of our Torino team to the chassis, it was a perfect marriage. And it has been an absolutely collaborative event ever since. The team has been working, the same team that designed the very successful Avenger, and I'm talking about made with love. I mean, when the Italians put their mind to something, forget about it. They really take it very seriously. And Daniele, you can see him over there. You're going to meet him in a few minutes. Absolutely, that face is how he looks. He's so intense on the top there. But the reason is because many, many years ago, I literally asked him, I met him back in Turin. I was very impressed with him. So about 8 years ago, I connected with him and brought him over to the US. And he spent a long time with us, 6 months, I believe, designing. And Vinny is the current head of design for Jeep. But that's Daniele in Moab. So every year we take the entire studio and we go to Moab, Utah, and spend a week literally off-roading. Before the journalists come, we actually enjoy our Jeeps. We build some of them ourselves. We take old test cars and convert them into off-road machines. And ever since then, Daniele's never been the same. He's literally messed up. He went and bought a Wrangler. He's the only man I know driving a lifted Wrangler in the middle of Turin. So I love this, but that passion brings with him. He brings that to work with him. And so the amount of commitment, and this is a project like unlike any other. This happens to be the Compass that you see there, but the same philosophy applies to any Jeep that we do now. We really, truly listen to not just the product planners, to the customers, and in many cases, our own employees are the customers. Our employees absolutely love Jeeps as daily drivers. So you can see the workshops, this is product planning, it's engineering. Myself, I've been on those couches listening to Daniele tell us how a Jeep should be, especially a Jeep that must live in the city, a Jeep that has to deal with European parking situations, the way people use vehicles. Because what a Compass means in one part of the world is not exactly the same thing in another. So we designed the Compass to be flexible, not only in personality, in function, in use, in purpose, quality, and lifestyle. So you're going to hear more about that in a second. And finally, as we evolve Jeep, the Compass has done very well. On sale for almost 10 years. It's been extremely successful. Many copycats around the world have now their own compact SUV, but in a way, we were the first to have a good-looking, classy SUV that could be premium and it could be accessible at the same time. And today you're going to see that we have reimagined the face of Jeep in the philosophy of the design, the structure of the body, the aesthetic, and also a very cool way to take Jeep forward and something that's undeniably modern. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to Daniele, but before I do that, I want to say I have the easy part. As head of design for Stellantis NA, I get to pick the sketches. So this is the sketch that really turned me on because it had all the right stuff. So to tell you more about that, I want to introduce to you Daniele Calonacci. Did I say it right? Calonacci. Get over here.
Thank you, Ralph. Thank you all to be here, and good evening. So I don't want to hide to you that I'm very excited to show you the third generation Compass tonight. So we'll have a lot of content to talk about, and so I would like to show you the structure of the presentation. We have 6 different chapters. We will talk about concept, efficient packaging, optimized aero, DNA construction, 360 soul, and for sure capability. Jeep has a long story, 84 years of adaptation, starting from the wheelless, but especially from the CJ2, so the first civilian Jeep of the history, arriving where we are today, with different customers, different requests, many requests for our customers. So I think we can say the same thing about the Compass, because Compass has already 18 years. We have 2 generations behind our shoulder, and today we will see the third one. It is, and it was, a success driven by a flexible, compact, and capable package. So when we started this program was very interesting because we took one of our claims as an inspiration. We don't make Jeep, you do. We did many different clinics all around the world to understand what customer, and especially rejector, would like to have from the next Compass. Basically, we received one big answer: more space inside. So we worked with a new completely package to give this answer to our customers. For sure, has to be electrified, and you will see we'll have a new iconic design, much more different from what we had today on the market, linked and connected with the history of Jeep, both from the functional point of view and from the style point of view. So we gave this framework to our designer to understand how to make the first sketches and how to design this vehicle. So 4 pillars. All the roads means that this vehicle has to face every type of roads. Your home road, urban road, highway, off-road. As I said, a design both from functional and style point of view, linked and connected with the history and the DNA of Jeep. Modular, because you know very well the history of your Compass. Compass today already has very different customer. Businesswoman, businessman, active family. So the idea was to have a modular approach to give the right answer to the different customer. And for sure, that give us the 24/7 use. Flexible, as I said, for commuting, sport, road trips, and off-road. So now I think you are curious, and I'm curious to see your reaction, to see for the first time the third generation Compass.
No, I don't take shit. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up. I don't ever slow up. No, I don't take shit. I got no love.
So now everything will be easier to explain to you the different steps that we did from the design point of view to create this guy. So efficient package, what means for us efficient package? Some comparison with the current Compass. This vehicle is 150 mils longer than today, 85 mils wider than today. Because what I said, more space for our customer. Basically, the length of the overall vehicle is given by the wheelbase. So doing this, we will have 20 mils more of legroom in comparison with the today Compass, 45 liters of trunk. We will have 20 mils more of shoulder room for the rear seats and 10 mil more of headroom. But we didn't focus only on the rear space. At the moment, we are able to give only 14 liters of frontal storage on the current Compass. With this one, we will give 34 liters of frontal storage. So from the design point of view and the engineering point of view, we worked, let me say, engraving every single surface of the interiors. For example, this is an example, the negative shape of the IP. The IP, this negative shape will be rubberized to avoid any sliding object during the drive session, and we integrated the panic handle in the shape itself of the IP. We will have 40, 20, 40 rear seats splitted, so basically our customer will be able to adjust how they prefer the rear cargo. And then when we make Jeep in a Jeep way, we take a particular attention to the front overhang. So as always, as we did on the Avenger, as we do in many Jeeps, we worked at the limit of the minimum overhang possible on this package, front and rear, selecting the higher overall diameter tire to give the higher ground clearance possible, and for sure to ensure the best technical angle. But we will talk about this in a few seconds. The second chapter was interesting during these 3 years, because as you can see here is a bold vehicle, but we reached the CX and the range that the brand asked to us from the very beginning, working in every single detail and angle. So we optimized the section of the greenhouse, we covered fully the front section of the front door, we closed, as we did on the Avenger, as we are doing in many Jeeps, the 7-slot grille, and we will talk about this in a few seconds. We will have a static grid, active grid shutter to optimize the drag coefficient. And then we accelerated the section of the roof that is hidden by the roof rail to give the perfect aerodynamic flux. Not only will have real air curtains on the front, and I love this particular. This is the cherry on the cake for the aerodynamic part of the Compass. We created this aero cladding. They are real outlets that are working, dropping down the pressure of the rear lockery as the racing car on a Jeep. So we will be able to work also with this very hard design on the rear to detach the air fluxes on the rear, reaching less than 0.3 CX on this bold volume, and a range up to 650 kilometers for the electric version. But let's talk about something very interesting for us, the story, the DNA construction of this vehicle. I was always in love with the first generation Compass shoulder, the blister applied on the volume. So we replied the sculpture of the first generation, giving a lot of muscularity to this guy, coupling everything with the trapezoidal wheel arch. And you know, I repeat every time, this is not style. This is a functional approach to avoid the tire to touch the body when you are in off-road and you are in the maximum compression of your suspension. That comes from the history. A bold volume that unmistakably show the boldness of the vehicle from the front view, and the bent over grille. You remember the story? The bent over grille was an engineering trick to reinforce the sheet metal grille in front of the radiator of the TJ. It was reintroduced on the JL, and now we have this treatment. This is this theoretic line that is all across the Jeep lineup. And then let's concentrate on the 7-slot. We did already this exercise on the Avenger, closing the 7-slot, because you know we are not anymore the wheelless with huge radiator like that. Now the radiators are very small and compressed in the lower part of the grille, of the front end. So basically the upper part of the vehicle is useless for the air intake. So basically we closed them, reaching the best CX possible, but this time we'll have a multifunctional 7-slot. So we changed completely the function of the 7-slot from air intake to something futuristic. We'll have rather and camera in the center slot. Many competitors has these features in the lower part of the grille. This is the most fragile point in which you can put these things. So we moved up, recessed, and very far from any obstacle. We will have the 7 slot illuminated that are connected with the headlamp, new signature. So as you can see here, we call it the signature clamp design. And this clamp design is an abstraction of the round headlight starting from the Willys and the Wrangler. But if you rotate that signature, you will have what we call it the Giga X. So that will be the rear signature, light signature. That will be a huge X like that on the rear. And this is our history. It started 84 years ago with a jerrycan. Then we reported on the first Renegade. We had a huge success on the Avenger with the X because we repeated. And right now we said, okay, let's be proud of the X. Let's repeat in a Giga version on the Compass. And that will be also the first Jeep in the history having the rear logo illuminated. Let's talk again about the rear end. Rear end is not on this tractor, is not only aerodynamic. This is story. The double U reversed shape start from the SJ. The SJ was, and it is, the first SUV in the automotive market, made in '62, where all the SUV belong. So we took this element and we put it on the rear end of the new Compass. And let's talk about the interior. This is again another concept that we already told many times also on the Avenger, but also other products we have. Uncompromised symmetry means to be super visible from all the occupants, not only the driver, but also especially the passenger. Again, the example, when I use my Jeeps, sometimes I get lost in the traffic, but also in the nature. So I need my friends, my wife, to give me instruction when I'm concentrated on driving. So for us, the radio is important because this is the place in which we are going to project the maps. So we'll have 10-inch cluster and 16-inch radio. And then we'll have physical capacitive switches. So this is a new technology that gives the feedback. So this is really important. But being capacitive, we don't have anymore the gaps between the different functions. So again, we are making the life of our customer better. You can clean the interior without having dust in the gaps. And then we have the center console. In the center console is concentrated the brain of the engine. We have selector rein, PRND, and electric handbrake. The selector rein is completely full new design. It will be across many different Jeep model also in the future. It will be always red, so super visible, and rubberized. So the driver should find it very easily also during the night. And as I said, this is the brain of the engine, so we are going to able to select the different drive mode. 360 Soul, very important for us. From a functional point of view. Again, you know, we launched the Avenger with the C-floating pillar, with the same concept that we have on Renegade, on Grand Cherokee long wheelbase, Grand Wagoneer. We said, why not to avoid to have the C-pillar and to give more visibility to our customer with a huge screen windows on the rear. So visibility is very important for us, especially when you are outdoor, close to trees and something like that. It's better to see what you have around you. We will have 7,700 centimeters square of sunroof that will guarantee the perfect connection with the nature. And then you can imagine 360 for us means protection, with a huge and thick cladding all around the vehicle in the lower part to protect the body from any bumps and scratches, with the right section in the right place. Rear reflector, front fog light are encased, so to avoid any, let me say, bump. The aluminum insert, again, are molding color. So we saved the paint. So this is nice also for the planet Earth, but not only. This is another service, again, for our customer. You can scratch them, but you won't feel, you won't see any effect of the scratches. And the outermost section of the door is exactly this part. So basically, you can open your door close to a tree, close to a stone, without having any effect on the body. And then this is the usual example that I use because I am an active guy. I used to put my bicycle in the trunk of my cars, and I did the same example also for the Avenger. So if you have a normal car with a painted rear bumper, you are going to scratch the bumper. So again, as the Avenger, as the Renegade, as the Wrangler. The rear bumper is a black molding color, single injection, that will be really resistant with every scratches. So right now, we are talking about functionality. We are talking about the history of Jeep. So I would like to give you another gift. So welcome 4xe Compass.
Agora, lançamento já com elétrico, combustão e híbrido.
Welcome 4xe and hello again. So, as I said before, we had a long discussion about the functionality of the front-wheel drive, but now you will see how many other functionality we added to the 4x4 version. So as you can see here, we'll have higher technical angle. So that means 31 degrees of departure angle, 16 degrees of breakover angle, and 27 degrees of approach angle, thanks to the new features that we will have on this model. So a specific black fascia front and rear to guarantee the angle that we already set, 10 mil more of suspension, and special wheel of 19-inch that will guarantee the higher sidewall possible on this vehicle to have the best handling in the off-road use, and something that, in my opinion, is the second cherry on the cake on this model. So as you can see here, the bumper is modular. We had this straight cut in front of on the model to have two different finishing, that they are not only finishing, they are functional, because on the front wheel drive will be body color, more mainstream. But for the guy that want to go in the off-road, it will be black, molding color, anti-scratch. So it is a connection also with the history of Jeep. I give you my private example. I have a Wrangler and a Cherokee XJ. The front end of my vehicle are molding color one and anti-scratch painted the second one. So basically, this is what the Jeepers do to their vehicle, and we took this experience to put on this model. We will have the usual anti-reflective hood sticker to avoid any sun glare in front of the eyes of the driver, and for sure, always better stay safe when you are outdoor with your friends, so we will have the rear tow hook. Heavy-duty rubber mats, and again, this is the fabric that we started to have also on the Avenger 4xe. This is a super robust fabric injected with polyurethane material that will give us the double of resistance in comparison on every fabric in the automotive market. And then another personal example. If you have kids, if you have pets, in general, the back of your seats is full of scratches, mud, everything. So basically, we would like to give another service to our 4x4 Compass customers, a shield for every scratches and also an extra storage if you want to use the Molle system. Saying that, I'm at the end of the design presentation. I would like to give the voice to Marco Montepeloso. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Daniele, for the great presentation, and good afternoon also from me. So now the aim of my speech is to introduce you to the product novelties and the technical features of the new Compass and the benefits they brings to our customers. And I will start from the core of the project. The new Compass is based upon the new Stellantis Stella Medium platform, a future-proof platform designed to electrify C and D segment vehicles, offering impressive BEV range, fast charging, efficiency, and performances, while retaining a multi-energy offering. But the challenge was to leverage the platform flexible concept to make the new Compass a unique and distinctive SUV that stays true to the Jeep DNA without compromise. And we certainly rose to the challenge by making the new Compass the most capable vehicle manufactured from the platform. A vehicle designed for the great outdoors, but also for everyday use. Always ready for an adventure, but also extremely practical, spacious, and equipped with all the functional technology you need to make everyday life easier. So let's start from capability. that is almost synonymous with Jeep and something our customer takes for granted. And with the new Compass, our aim was to deliver the most capable C SUV on the market. To achieve this, we have applied the same recipe for success as the Jeep Avenger, but upgraded to fit a more refined and distinctive C SUV. So we extended capability across the range, including the front-wheel drive version, which will also be 100% capable. The new Compass has a ground clearance of up to 200 millimeters at battery level, an approach angle of 20 degrees, a breakover angle of 15, and a departure angle of 26 degrees, and up to 470 millimeters waterfording. We managed to achieve this working on vehicle architectures, shortening the front overhang by 20 millimeters and the rear overhang by 30 millimeters, while raising the vehicle from the ground. But capability is not only geometry. Select terrain will be standard on all the versions to support our customer on the most challenging situation, as it will be the 360-degree protection already available on the Avenger. And the all-wheel drive version will be even more capable, thanks to extra functional design that ensures 27 degrees of approach angle, 16 degrees of breakover, 31 degrees of departure angle, and improved ground clearance and waterfording. Hill descent control will be standard, and some of them will be also equipped with extra durable seat material. And we have gone also one step further by developing new suspension tuning for all versions with dedicated springs, dampers, and anti-roll bars to achieve the perfect balance between handling and comfort on difficult road. And the 4xe version will be also equipped with special frequency selective damping to ensure comfort on rough road and driving pleasure on smooth ones. As we said at the beginning, we also wanted an everyday capable vehicle. That for us means practicality, space, and functional technology. To begin with, off-road characteristics also translate into everyday practical benefits. Off-road geometry means less risk of damage when driving, as an example, in and out of a garage ramps. And the 360-degree protection ensures lower maintenance costs for private customers and fleet, and an overall better residual value at resale. At the same time, the new Compass remains one of the most compact vehicles built from Stella Medium platform, with a total length of 4.55 meters, thanks to short overhangs that give us the freedom to extend the wheelbase and add 55 millimeters extra legroom. The new Compass will simply offer more space for people and gears. In fact, applying the Jeep design to function approach, we also have doubled the front interior storage, which is now about 34 liters, and increased the boot space by 45 liters, reaching a total of 550 liters. And the 40-20-40 split rear bench, standard on all the versions, provide the modularity necessary to adapt this space to the different needs of our customer. The new Compass is an all-inclusive value proposition. That is why technology as performance, practicality, and space is standard across the range. The new infotainment system offers a 10 inches cluster and a 16 inches radio, while connected services ensures that the vehicle is constantly up to date, receiving over-the-air upgrades throughout its life cycle. And the Level 2 autonomous driving will help our customer to drive safely on longer journeys or in congested urban areas. And let me remark this again, all of this will be standard for all our customers. And then the experience can be further enhanced by adding head-up display, semi-automatic lane change, matrix LED lights, or the smartphone access. All novelties over the previous Compass and forward-looking features, some of which normally only available in the premium segment. I would now like to turn to the new Compass powertrain lineup. which relates directly to the core of our strategic plan to embrace the future while always keeping the needs of our customer at the center of our focus. With a full range of powertrains covering widely the segment, the new Compass will further enhance the freedom of choice we offer to our customer with a 145 horsepower e-hybrid, a 195 horsepower e-hybrid plug-in, both of them front-wheel drive, and 3 BEV versions. 2 of them front-wheel drive, delivering 213 and 231 horsepower respectively, and an all-wheel drive version delivering a stunning 375 horsepower at peak. To achieve this massive power, we have introduced a new, dedicated, and more powerful rear electric motor exclusive to Jeep, with a peak output of 132 kilowatt, adding an extra 49 kilowatt to the platform setup. But most important, this delivers up to 232 Newton meters torque, which combined with a 14-to-1 rear reducer results in an impressive 3,100 Newton meters at rear wheels. This gives us maximum traction in most challenging situations, with the ability to climb at 20% slope, even with zero traction on the front axle. EV charging is also up to the higher standard, with a fast 160 kilowatt DC solution offering 30 minutes 20 to 80% charge time, and an up to 22 kilowatt onboard charger. BEV range of up to 650 kilometers is another key attribute of our powertrain offering, positioning the new Compass to be highly competitive even in the advanced stage of electrification. But we wanted to achieve these results without compromising the practicality and spaciousness of the car. So the entire team worked proactively on each and every detail to improve aerodynamic efficiency. That is a crucial factor in increasing the range. As a result, although the new Compass is bigger and bolder than the previous generation, we managed to improve the CX by 10%, achieving a value of less than 0.3, introducing elements like the active grille shutter that is directly integrated into the front bumper, air duct on front and rear wheels, sharp rear edges, and a fully flat underbody design. The touring engineering team, with the key contribution of the global Jeep technical community, has achieved all of this through dedication, know-how, and an almost manic attention to quality and detail. And they are now completing almost 1.5 million kilometers of testing, both on asphalt and off-road. So, in conclusion, we have stayed true to the Jeep promise: go anywhere and do anything, while meeting the evolving needs of today's customer. The new Jeep Compass is, in every way, a future-ready SUV. Now, it's Fabio's turn, another committed teammate on the project. Thank you.
Já já a gente comenta, curte, comenta aí e compartilha. 3 versões elétricas, 2 híbridas.
So grazie Marco, and good afternoon to you all also from my side. So let me start by saying that it's been really an honor and also a privilege for all of us of the team to be involved in such a forward-looking project, because Compass is part of Jeep history and one of our brand's pillars since almost 20 years. And with this new generation, we want to go even one step further. So we want to offer a car that still offers and carries on the brand value as well as the legacy that Compass has. So this fully redesigned model is crafted to attract an even broader range of customers by providing a sort of perfect blend between safety, adventure, and also the driving pleasure of the drivers to somehow meet the evolving needs of today's customers. We developed a car which is body-centric in terms of market and of customer demand for what is the largest segment in Europe. So the CSUV segment, which is expected to be 90% BEV, PHEV, and hybrid. Compass is already a success story, but we believe that with the new Compass, we can expand our audience even further thanks to all the product improvements we made, the novelties we have introduced, the wide range of engine options available to our customer, and of course, the distinctive design that really makes this car unique in the segment. We know that our Compass customers are active, are dynamic people, they are outdoor enthusiasts, they usually have a family, and they are really looking for a trustful 360-degree travel companion which is able to take on their everyday adventures. So a car that gives them distinction, a sense of freedom, safety at the same time, a car which is robust, functional, and of course has all the technology and the comfort they need. And this car, the new Compass, is exactly how this has been designed for. Today, Compass, we have to keep in mind that attracts almost 60% of its customers from the C segments and 15% coming from the higher segments. And we believe that with all the improvements that we just mentioned, we can still increase the inflow coming from the higher segments, while at the same time being able to maintain its position at the core of the CUV segment, as well as the customer loyalty, thanks to, as you can see, all the authentic Jeep design and features that we have. Moreover, we did not forget that 40% of our, let's say, customers come from the business to business and the fleet. So for this reason, we developed a car which is also perfectly suited for the needs of those customers. So a car with improved comfort, improved versatility, improved robustness, as well as having standard features which are in line with those expectations. Just to make you an example, the adaptive cruise control, for instance, the auto high beam, all the lumbar adjustment, and as well as what Daniele mentioned, the 360-degree protection. Then, as mentioned before, new Compass customer will have the freedom to choose between three different powertrain technology. I remind you the hybrid plug-in, and the full electric, which is going to be able to satisfy both who enjoy the all-electric driving experience, as well as the people who are seeking for a more practical, a more versatile solution. And this full electric, in particular, engine will have the option on the front wheel drive of two ranges. So we will have the 500-kilometer range, which is going to be basically able to satisfy the meeting the needs of most of our customers, and the mentioned 650-kilometer range for the sort of a top alternative for the long-distance travelers. On the other hand, the 4xe will feature a 600-kilometer range. And the shared focus of all these powertrain options I mentioned is always to ensure the driving pleasure and the comfort in every situation. In this particular context, the 4xe technology, which is the 4x4 according to Jeep, I believe deserves a special attention, because while we have extended the 4xe and the capability across the entire Compass range, the 4xe remains its ultimate expression, which is allowing you to reach basically every destination, wherever it may be. And this ultimate capability is also very important in everyday's life. So I make an example. Imagine that you need to reach a cottage, which is high up in the mountains. You need to climb steep trails. The weather conditions are extreme. There is ice, there is snow, and as it happens sometimes to me, you are also late. Well, in this case, no problem, because the 4xe, with its ability to climb even the challenging slope with no traction on the front wheel will anyway for sure make your day. Then last but not least, the color palette. So the new compass will be available in 6 colors, which are meant to evoke the natural landscapes and also the geographical regions of the world. So just to make an example, from the bright green that you see here of the Hawaii to the ice and snow of the Antarctica, or another example from the volcanic island in Sicily to the rainforest in Amazonia, just to mention a few of those. And all these amazing attributes we've outlined so far will also define the first edition of the new compass, which you see here, and will mark the introduction of the model in the market. And this first edition is also meant to showcase all the product pillars we've all mentioned so far, being able to deliver a true Jeep experience. So to begin with, it will be available with a choice of 2 powertrain, so both the hybrid and the BEV. And it will be equipped with very richly equipped. It's a sort of a top trim. So it will have styling features such as the 20 inches wheel, the 7-slot illuminated grille that you see there. It will have technology features also, such as the Matrix LED in the front, again here, or the 16 inches radio system in the inside of the vehicle. It will have a full set of ADAS systems, so L2 autonomous driving, 360 stick protection, and of course the comfort enhancements such as, for instance, the premium seats or the hands-free power liftgate. So this first edition will be for sure striking in appearance. It will be loaded with additional standard feature. I'm not going to mention to you all of them. They're going to be show slide in here. And it will have also a selected option which will make the offer even more appealing. The sunroof that Daniela mentioned, the head-up display, or the 360 camera, just to name a few of them. And regarding the timing, the deliveries, the first deliveries to our showroom will start from the last quarter of this year. So in short, to summarize, the new Compass is really truly unique. It's unmistakable Jeep attitude, its style are immediately recognizable even without having the badge in front of it. So it's built to be robust, reliable, capable. It's loaded with all the technology, the comfort, the functionality that the customer needs to take on their everyday adventure, basically. So with this new car, I believe we are really ready to step into the next adventure where the authenticity and the exploration come together. Thank you very much.
Tá aí, people, lançado oficialmente o novo Jeep Compass, né? Lançamento mundial, foco inicialmente para Europa, né? As vendas aí começando nos próximos meses, com as entregas sendo realizadas no final do ano, no último trimestre. E a gente vai trazer mais detalhes aqui do novo Jeep Compass. Enquanto isso, eu quero saber sua opinião. E aí? Curtiu? Fica? Passa? Não gostou? Acho que ficou quadradão demais? Quero saber aí o que é que você achou do novo Jeep Compass. Ah, Freire, quando é que chega no Brasil? Vocês viram que no lançamento, quem chegou depois pode voltar aí para o início da live para saber tudo, mas inicialmente Europa, é um projeto global, né? Lembrando que ele é feito na mesma plataforma do 3008. Detalhe, teremos inicialmente apenas versões hybrid plug-in e elétrica, né? Com 3 opções de versão elétrica. Vou trazer todos os detalhes aqui para você. Assinatura nova na traseira, assinatura nova na dianteira, novo multimídia, 16 polegadas de multimídia, uma televisão, hein? Uma televisão. Primeira edição é hybrid, com motor 1.2 MHEV de 145 cavalos, sendo comercializado por 41 mil euros aqui no mercado europeu. Primeira edição elétrica a partir de 51.750 euros. Outras versões previstas é hybrid plug-in BEV 4XE, preço estimado acima de 60 mil. Os preços podem variar com os opcionais. No Brasil, somente em 2027, né? 26, 27. Vamos ver aí. E lembra muito o Avenger, né? Os detalhes aí lembram muito o Jeep Avenger. Essa pegada aí quadradona, essa leve mudança de paradigma aí do Jeep Compass. Foi um tapa na peruca bem agressivo, né? Diria assim. E eu quero saber a opinião de vocês. Ele lembra muito o Wagoneer, lembra muito o Cherokee. E eu quero saber as expectativas de vocês. Depois eu trago um resumo aqui no canal Motores e Ação com todos os detalhes, todas as versões. Olha a assinatura noturna do Jeep Compass. O que é que vocês acharam, hein? Parte iluminada aí na parte frontal. Um abraço para o Davi Fontinelli, para o Edivar, para o Wellington Teodoro. Pois é, um abraço ao Emiliano Bechara, meu parceiro. Olha, o Edivar que está aqui em Portugal. Em breve a gente vai se encontrar e trocar algumas ideias. Vi muitos Avengers em Portugal, bem mais que Renegade. Aí você quase não vê Renegade aqui, Edivar. E uma coisa interessante, onde é que fica o Renegade em meio ao Avenger, ao Compass e o que vem por aí da Jeep? Beleza, meu povo? Para não ficar muito longo, 1 hora de live, eu volto com um resumo do novo Compass nesta quarta-feira, todos os detalhes, e você confere aqui no Motores e Ação. Curte, comenta, compartilha, deixa seu like, comenta aí. Será que não faltou a versão a combustão? Teremos depois? Ou a Jeep não vai trazer uma versão a combustão? Aquele abraço e até o próximo vídeo. Vai!